Good morning and welcome to the Predator Arc Estonian Open here in Tallinn, Estonia. And we have a great matchup coming up for you between Michael Oegaard from Norway and the Dutchie Ivo Aarts. Will be a fantastic match in the loser round bracket, so the loser will be out, the winner advances and still has a chance to mix himself with the last 32. And in the commentary booth for this match we have Arya Sorabi and Tim de Ruyter for you to explain all the action. Good morning, Arya.
Good morning, Tim. Good morning, pool fans watching around the world. What a match we have on our hands, Tim. Ivo Aarts, of course, a former teammate of yours, so I'm sure throughout the match we will get some more background information on Ivo as we watch the first break, which is a great break, by the way. How do you see this one going then, Tim?
This rack or this match?
Both. Let's
Both,
start
okay.
with the rack.
Yeah, he's got a really good spread here, no clusters, so that's a nice point. It's also nice that from the beginning of the match he's found a break, because you seem to struggle at some point with the break in 8-ball. So it's nice to start off with good breaks at least. It gives you confidence. Now, I think he could go either way, like the solids or stripes. I think I would go stripes because of the 4-ball. Might be a little bit tougher to get to. But for stripes it's possibly the 9 or the 11, so it's a little bit of a nice shape here. I possibly can run towards the 8. And then I think it's kind of open for him to take the first game. So race to 8. And we are breaking per 2 games. So Michael has 2 breaks now. Just only 1 left.
Hi.
And then Ivo has 2 and so on. And then this match. I mean, Michael has left the scene for a bit. I know him since I played my junior EC. Junior European Championships. Kind of was my same, like the same age category, so I've known him since then, but then a couple of years he didn't play too much and did not travel, and now recently has been picking it back up and traveling more. So difficult to say how well he plays. I mean, obviously he does well. I've seen some good results for him beating top players, but I just never got to watch it, so it'll be interesting to see him in action. And yeah, well, Ivo Aarts is a player that has been playing non-stop still. I mean, even though he stopped playing the professional circuit, he started to still stay involved. He's now still playing everything in the Netherlands, small trips. So even though he's working part-time next to it, still playing a lot. So I feel this could be a close match. Maybe a slight favorite to Ivo, possibly, but I could be very wrong there. I mean, like I'm saying, it's 8-ball 2, and I'm not too sure whether Oegaard is maybe better in playing 8-ball than in rotation games. So will be an interesting match for sure. Oh.
Well, one thing is for sure, Tim, he's not going to run out here. And you do well to find a safe spot right now on the table. So, yeah, it's really hard to see what he can do with his cue ball. I don't think there is a place on the table where you can leave it safe. Well, maybe if it's in a parallel line behind the 8, you don't leave too many easy shots. You'd possibly leave the 7 top left. But it needs to be tight against the cushion as well, and that is not tight against the cushion. So Ivo will have a pretty straightforward 1 in the top left corner pocket, and he can play it in a way where he can also hook the cue ball on the is that the 14, the green? I believe so.
Yes.
Oh, even the 4 goes top right. That's even a easier pot. So he had a great chance there, Mikael, but he ran out of position in the penultimate last stripe, and now you just had to sit and suffer, because that is a big component of the game, right, Tim? Once you make a mistake, it is most of the time sitting and suffering.
Yeah, completely agree. Now, I think it's interesting that he didn't really try to do anything on the 14. I just am not a big fan of playing safe on my last stripe, because even if you play the safe, Ivo could have easily tapped a solid anywhere to hook Michael. So yeah, I was expecting him to at least try to do something creative. He didn't. And now this is a nice warm-up for Ivo, basically. I mean, just connecting the dots.
Yeah, and Ivo is quite a fast player. He's not the type that will struggle under the shot clock circumstances. If you've just tuned in, we must tell you that the two live stream tables, so table 1 and 2, will be played with a shot clock in operation, as we have an official in the arena that will alert the players when it's time. But like I said, you don't need to do that too often with Ivo. He's a fast player, and he got a great chance to put his first rack on the board.
Yeah, the only good news for Oegaard is that he will have another break, so doesn't have to be stressing. I mean, he's lost the first rack but can still tie up the score and then hopefully get a chance on Ivo's breaks. Needs a good break though. Found one in the first one. See if he can duplicate that. Well, the answer is no. More cut on this break and also more power. Came up dry. So not a good start for Norway.
And if you are watching on the YouTube channels, please do chime in, like, subscribe, get involved. Let us know from where around the world you're watching, because I guess for a lot of places it's quite early, so people probably at the works or somewhere else. So if you do want to get involved, make sure you drop us a note on the YouTube chat, so we can, if we have the time, also respond to your questions. Now then, I don't think he's done himself too many favors. He's kind of well, the 15 does pass, which is a bonus.
Yeah, just the 14. Yeah, nice nudge on the 14. The 14 and the 12. The 12 doesn't go in the bottom right, so needs some work. Will be interesting. Could play the 13 in the bottom right. Just has to make sure he leaves himself perfect on the striped orange to move over to the 12, the striped pink ball. Pink striped ball, so might have landed a little straight.
Didn't want to land absolutely glued on the rail, so that does limit his positional options. Looks like he needs to play in the gap between the 7 and the 6, and also the 10 is a little bit in his way, or he can power it on and off the cushion. Yeah, so he's tried to play it a more positive way. I actually like this shot. Still not out of the woods just yet, Tim. He needs 2 good positional shots, obviously from the 11 to the 10, and then the most important ball, the 10 to the 8.
Yeah, actually I was thinking about the 11 to the 8, but as he is going up table to finish. Oh, slight trouble. I was gonna say the 11 was guaranteeing the 8 to the right center, but he didn't have any other option than to play the 11 now. Has the cut with inside, play the 8 in the same corner. A little bit of a tricky shot.
Overcomplicate the shot here. But I tell you what though, Tim, what a recovery shot that is. It couldn't have landed more perfect on the 8. And so it is. Ivo Aarts steals both of the breaks of Mikael. And now he gets the break 2 times. Safe to say, advantage Ivo.
Yeah, it will be interesting because Oegaard clearly struggling in the beginning of the match. Ivo kinda got a gift as an opener, so he got some table time in. Must be feeling quite well. So currently, like you said, the advantage is with Ivo, who it looks like he's breaking second ball break. Interesting. Let's see how things will go for him.
Well, you know, one thing is for certain, if whoever decides to play the second ball break, especially when the rack is tapped, it's a tactical decision more than anything. Because we talked about this subject extendedly, specifically yesterday, when if you break an 8 ball and you fail to pot a ball, which happens every now and then, it feels like you're giving ball in hand away, because such is the level in the playing field that most players would clear up and, you know, take the rack. So I think Ivo has made a tactical decision that even if he doesn't fail to make a ball, he doesn't want to leave a roadmap, as we say, to his opponent.
Yeah, just a little bit of work on the 11 needed. Now, I do believe the 14 goes to the left center.
You know what, Tim? He can draw back towards, let's say, the 3rd diamond, so the closest diamond below the left center pocket, for play the 11 in the right center pocket if he wants to. That way he's also solved the problem. Also, it also goes in the bottom right corner pocket. And he can play the 11 in the bottom right corner pocket and bump his cue ball in the 3 to hold for the 14. That actually would be a nice option.
Yeah, or into the 8. Problem is with playing the shape to the center is the fact that if you'll land off angle quite easily compared to the corners. So he's now running into the 2, a little bit of a risky shot. Found the bump on the 8. Has the shape, needs one more good shape though. The 8 doesn't go to the center left anymore.
Yeah, so you can come up and down anywhere past the 14 ball line to play the 8 in the top left corner pocket, as he's done there. Yeah, that's good enough. Maybe an inch more would be absolutely unmissable, but you don't expect him to miss this one. So nicely solved the puzzle there.
Yeah, now Aarts kind of running away early on with the match. 3-0 lead. Will be breaking the 4th rack, and if he continues to do so, will be quite some pressure on Oegaard as well.
Yeah, so he's still sticking to the second ball break. He's made a conscious decision to approach this game with a bit more tactical astuteness. But as you can see, the layout is far from easy. So that is a plus side of the, the second ball break. It's an interesting one, isn't it, Tim?
Yes, I gotta say, the stripes are not too bad, because you have the 10 in front of the side, so you can run into the 12-1, have shape on the 13. Now you play the 13, you run the cue ball into the 2 to open up the 8 to the top left, and then I do believe all the balls do go. So there is a possibility here. Just gotta play 2 bumps right. Okay, the fact that he's played that so slow might be some trouble for him, because the 12 will be not so easy to get to. And he's queuing a little bit over the 1.
This is quite risky, Tim, because he can't really do much with his cue ball than other than rolling it forward. I suppose he always had the 15 bottom right and also the 9 in the middle, but because he's left a bit more distance with his cue ball and the next object ball, also controlling the cue ball becomes a bit more taxing, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, the only thing, I'm not actually too worried about that. I'm more worried about the 12 just in general. Maybe the 12 does go to the top left. I would love if the 12 goes to the top left. I'd like to take the 14 out now. 14, you could land funny on the 14, so if you're straight enough, just nick it out. Could still go 11, 12, 14, 9. But like I said, the 8 still needs to be opened soon.
Maybe it does go, Tim, because he definitely had a look at it. But I don't think he can pot it directly, so he might need to use a bit of the left long rail. Has he called it in the side?
Off the 1 ball. Slightly bigger pocket shooting it off the 1, but it's tough. Have to hit it real thin.
Yeah, he called it in the side.
Tough. Well, at least he was realizing that the 12 really needed some work, so he was trying to take it on early. Now, if the 12 was hanging over the side pocket, it actually would have been a decent strategy shot, but now with Ivo being on the 1, the 3 does go to the left center. Another open one, and Ivo returning back to the table after a scratch on the break.
Yeah, and that is always the biggest threat with the second ball break, isn't it? That you can it feels like you can easily scratch. So that is something that he is taking in consideration. But so far, he's been proven right. Such would the scoreline suggest. Now you can pot this, well, actually, that is a wise choice. He can take out the 2 because obviously that is congested there. And if he leaves himself a similar angle on the 5, or he goes full ball angle on the 5, this rack seems to be solved. Yeah, this is comfortable enough. Needs to pull out one more good stroke just to make sure that you do pot the 5, you know, flush and straight. You want to leave your cue ball exactly where the 5 is, or towards the left side, but that is fine, Tim. So 4-0, 4-0 is looking highly likely. And of course both of us know Ivo in and out because he's a fellow countryman of ours. But if there's one thing I could say about him is he is a great front runner.
Yeah, also another thing which not everybody knows is that in the region where he's from, Limburg, there's a special game. It's on the 6-foot table, so a very small table, and they play a different kind of 8-ball. And yeah, actually it's quite tough. I believe it also has like smaller corner pockets, so it's kind of more puzzling. And he used to play that since he was young. A lot of players from Limburg, they used to play that, so they're not too shy in looking for the small areas, and that's exactly why Ivo, I would say, is a great straight pool player and 8-ball player. Well, good break though from Oegaard, so definitely has to get one on the board. Now, tricky, if you look back from the 8 to make a pattern, the 8 doesn't go anywhere, I believe. I don't think it goes in bottom left. So, and then you probably would like to take the stripes as the 3-ball is blocked by the 9. So, if you go solids, you would clear up the 8, but then you will have to fix the 3-ball. If you go stripes, you have to do something to open up the 8. Will be interesting to see what he chooses.
So that 8-ball needs some solving, regardless who wants to clear up the rack. But if you're on the stripes, it's increasingly more difficult than if you're on the solids.
Well, the game also has opened up the 3-ball, so solids is a little bit easier now.
No points for guessing which combination he's going to take on now.
Well, as you can see from this angle, the 8 does not go in the bottom left. Also not to the center, so really has to play another kiss, another bump somewhere. Could use the 12 to do so, but that is his last stripe, and one, you have to leave yourself a nice angle on the 12 to do so. You don't want to have too much angle. And 2, you really have to get the shape on the 8 right after, which is not guaranteed.
I think his best bet would be if he can nudge the 5 into the 8 and the 7. I think that's his only way to get a bit lucky.
I probably would go into the 8 directly. And don't try to play this too perfect. Like, you can let the cue ball run in there, and if you catch it wrong, you might have a bank on the 8. Like, you could nudge the 8 into the 7, the cue ball into the left long rail and back out to the center. Like, if you catch it on the left side. If you catch it full, you probably press D8 towards the left long rail. You can either bank it or cut it down the long rail. Close, but too soft actually if he wanted to move the cue ball over more. And now, is there anything aggressive? Like I said before, it makes no sense to play a safety on this because you want to leave it over a pocket or make it. So top left corner bank.
I don't know, Tim. I
Hasn't
thought he
gone
could
in.
have nestled the 8 maybe on the 2 balls next to it because I just there was not a obvious bank on for me, but this is not worked out at all for him.
Well, the problem is with playing safe on the 8 is the fact that Ivo will just tap the balls around till the balls are laying better for him. So he could have rolled basically anywhere and make sure Mikael would not get another shot. So yeah, I actually did like the bank to the top left corner, but he hit it quite full, and also I don't think he's put some outside spin on that. Came up short, and everything else will be history, I assume so. As a player, you cannot just expect to get back whenever you miss the 8. Like, people run out so well. This is like over almost every time.
Well, as you said at the top of the show, these guys are now in the losers side bracket, and they have a brutal schedule to get back in the main event, because after this they still need to win 2 other rounds, so the loser round 5 and then the loser qualification, just to be part of the last 32. So a lot of pool to be played before they can look towards the business end of the tournament.
Yeah, this is a loser round 4 match. Still 2 more matches to go after this to play yourself in the last 32, so a long way to go. It's always tough going over the loser bracket. So many good players, you know, and especially if the draw is a little bit funny in the beginning of the tournament, quite a lot of top players join the loser bracket, which, yeah, just so incredible to walk through that. I mean, if it's names like, for example, Oliver Zolnocki is in the loser bracket, Marco Spitsky, Walter Leikere, Jaroslav Polak, Mario Hay, Mariusz Konechny, Alex Montpellier, Luca Men, Iker Andoni Echeverria, Felix Vogel. Then I find actually Ivo Aarts or Michael Oegaard is also one of those. Dennis Laskowski, under 23 8-ball European champion. Juma Derner, under 23 9-ball European champion. So I'm saying so many good players in the loser bracket. Kasper Matikainen, our new European 9-ball champion. They're all in the loser bracket, and that's to where I'm not gonna say if you have a bad draw you could be out of the tournament real fast, but it will be really tough to, let's say you run into the loser round 2 or 3, to run all the way. Now, the usual suspects so far, I believe, are still in the tournament though. Trying to find a name that is already out of the tournament, where I say, whoa, that's surprising, but, you know, early leaves. So currently timeout for Oegaard. I have to say he's down 5-0, and I mean he has one more break. But the best he can make it from here is 5-1, and then basically has to pray for drama on Ivo's break, so that will be a tough one, I believe so. Kinda late in my opinion to take that timeout, especially with this format. To take a timeout on 5-0. Yeah. Just think it might be a little bit late, but we'll see. Possibly he'll come back to the table, he will feel better, and maybe Ivo gets slowed down a bit. You never know. As you see on the other table, in action, Fabio Rizzi from France. And he is currently... Well, I'm trying to find the score, but actually things are not going too well. I was actually thinking it was a loser round 4 match area, but... oh, here. He's playing, and I might pronounce this wrong, Kemal Önder Kilic from Germany. Rizzi also up 4-0, so quick matches on the TV table here, and let's see. Let's see what we have here after the break. Has made a ball on the break, so that is the good news for him. Desperately needs to run out. Yeah, using all of its time. They have a shot clock though. It's 35 seconds per shot. One extension per rack, excuse me, is 25 seconds extra, and then after the break it has 60 seconds. So as you could hear, the referee called time. That means he basically used all his time after the break. Needs to start going now. And I think, as you can see, the 13 doesn't go to the bottom left. I'm surprised he's going for stripes here actually, because the only solid you have to work on is to get to the red 3 ball in the top right corner, so not too bad. We'll have to solve the 13 as soon as possible.
Yeah, a lot of balls congested, and the longer you wait to play good shape on the 13. Oh, so he's trying to develop it, thinking he's got a great chance to have some sort of shot on the 14. He was proven right, Tim.
Yeah, just a little bit worried actually, because the 10 really didn't look like it does go to the right center. So he might have to go forward and play the 10 in the bottom left, but it's such a narrow shape. Or does he have an angle to run into the 10?
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. If he can just prevent himself going forward, he can pot the 10 in the top left, as we look in this picture.
Well, I just don't think that's on. I actually think the 3 ball might be... Oh, I might need glasses. Okay, so he's making things work so far. Now he has been losing the cue ball just a slight bit, and this 13, he has to run the cue ball 3 rails forward to get to the 9. Could get into a little bit of trouble. I mean, if he cuts the 9 in, runs into the 4, might hook himself on the 8. Like, there's Small things that could go wrong. How's his speed? Nicely done. So now I might draw in between the 2 and the 4 to play the 8 in the right center, if that goes. Because unless you can go forward and not run into the 4, top left. But I'm trying to stay away from a bump on the 4.
Even if you would run into the 4, if you apply a little bit of left spin, that shouldn't cause you too much trouble. But yeah, I think he is going forward, Tim. Oh, what is he? I think he's hooked himself on the 8, you know. So this has been a pattern, unfortunately, for Michael. Every time he's been towards the last 2 or 3 balls, he's run out of position. And it's the most frustrating thing in the world when you're playing 8-ball or any other discipline, is when you, on the most important ball, you keep running out of position. Still makeable, this jump.
Yeah, clearly a struggle. Needs to make the 8 jump. And he does. Nice shot there. Good recovery. Is this what will get him going in this match? He's trailing 5-1. Ivo will be breaking twice, but desperately needed that jump on the 8. Oh. Well, a very scrappy layout. And a tough opener. Will be long shot.
Do you know what, Tim? Actually, the stripes don't look too bad, because the 15 clearly goes in the left center.
Well, still, as you can see, work on the orange stripe and the red stripe, the 13 and the 11. Not too sure whether this 9 goes to the right center. Might have landed a little bit odd. He's looking at maybe playing a carom off the 9, 3, 15. If the 15 goes to the top left, I mean, it would solve quite some bit, I guess. No, he's cutting the 14 in the side.
Well, one thing is for sure, he will definitely run into the 13 and the 11 there, next to the 5 ball. Has he potted? Yeah, he has. That's a great shot, Tim.
Yeah, has played that great. Now, still, some work has to nick out the 15 as soon as possible. I find it a very awkward ball, actually. Now, would have liked to be on the 9. He is on the 9, but queuing over the 8, so probably he's going to take the 11 and try to get on the 9 later on. Don't give yourself a chance to miss a ball, you know, just make sure you keep everything in the open. Oh. Yeah, not running exactly how he wants it to run.
Can he play a two-way shot where he draws back towards the center line? If he doesn't fancy the angle on the 9, you can always play the 12.
Well, has played shape on both, but I definitely like to take the 9 out right now. 12 is just easier to get to. I mean, you can say what you want, but the only thing for Evo, and I've known that for many years, is the fact that his break has been causing him slight issues this match, but overall his running game has been definitely up par, and this is to make 6-1 with one more rec to break, so we could see him on the hill very soon. For now, score 6-1, break and run, and tough times for Michael Oegaard.
One thing is for sure, at the table he's yet to make a unforced error. So his only mistakes have been on the break. And I think he scratched once. Yeah, only once he scratched and maybe one dry break. But other than that, he's not made a mistake at the table. Managed to pot 6 balls on his break.
Yeah, I kind of lost words. I mean, if you can break like that, the game should be very easy, but he's missed the 13. Can you believe it? Wow.
It's the easiest shot he's missed in this entire match. Yeah, you see this happen sometimes, every now and then, because the player is cruising and everything is looking flawless, and then all of a sudden they get an easy shot and they just take it for granted. I think that's the best word we can use on that. And he's missed it. But if you would tell him there is 500 million on that shot, just need to make sure of putting it, he would make it. But yeah, sometimes happens.
Well, definitely the mistake Oegaard needs. What has he done? Oh, I kind of was expecting him to play like the 5 or the 7 in the top left corner and just don't run the cue ball too much. Just on the 7 ball, but might have to run the cue ball softly into the 8 to hold the cue ball a bit.
Yeah, it's just getting increasingly more and more difficult. I don't know, Tim, it feels like his head is in a bit of a scramble right now.
Oh, he still gets the job done. What a shot on the 4. That was a tough one. Now 6-2. He has 2 breaks, so I'm not saying this match should have been over with, but could have been way worse for Oegaard. Especially if you consider he jumped the 8 in earlier to get his first game on the board. Now Ivo has missed his first ball. 6-2. 2 breaker runs on top of it would be 6-4. And I don't really mind that scoreline.
Mark Maggie, one of the home favorites, proud representative of Estonia. He's just booked his place in the loser round 5, beating his opponent 8-2. So a lot of pool to be played there.
Yeah, found a ball on the break. Let's see, the stripes are open, but will be a little bit tricky to get to the 11, but you can use the 10 for that. So I think the 8 does go to the bottom right as well, so I might choose to get to the 10 ball as soon as possible, then go up table. So get to the 10, go to the 11, then go back up table, clear up there, go back down. He's going solids.
Yeah, that while you were explaining the trajectory, I was looking at his cue ball. I'm thinking, well, surely he's taking on the solids because he's not aiming at the 15 there.
The thing is, as you could see, the 5 is blocked by the 1, and it's tough to get shape on the 1 to get back on the 5, unless he's looking to maybe split the 5 here. But I find this a little bit sensitive shapes, you know. The stripes are wide in the open, only the 11.
Well, I'm sorry, I have to disagree a little bit with you, Tim, because if he leaves himself, let's say, a half ball, just even the slightest angle on the 1, he can easily bump the 11 away, and he would always have a position on the 5, and apparently the 5 even passes as well in the gap, or at least
where are you bumping the 11 to? Like, it's also a chance to lock up the 3, and I don't like to bump the balls near the end of the rack. So instead of bumping the balls, why not take the stripes and just play clear positional shape? I mean, I don't mind him going for solids. I just think that he might might mess up.
The plan is now crafted is drop the 1 in, play the 3 in the middle pocket, and then the 5 in the same pocket as he is trying to pot the 1. Wow. What has happened there? I mean,
whoa.
He could definitely get to the putting angle.
We were both wrong. I mean, I cannot imagine. I think he was just trying to make sure he got straight enough on the 3. He was kind of straight on the 1, so was trying to play spin over. But surely would have never expected that to miss.
Now we have a chance to see how Ivo goes about the stripes. The plan he was trying to map out.
Well, the thing is, as you see, most of the people would consider getting to the 13 now. He's making sure he gets on the 11 as soon as possible, and the angle he's gonna have on the 11 brings the cue ball back to the 13. Oh, he might not be on the 11. Is he?
It's a tough ball. I don't think he is.
Oh, a slight mistake there. I might consider still jumping the 11 ball in. Like, the odds of getting on the 11 from where he is now I mean, it will be interesting to see how he's gonna try and do that. Maybe if he gets to the 13 now, and then use the 14 in the center to play for a bump on the 8, but
He can still
tricky,
play
tricky.
position on the 11. If you take the, let's say, the first or the anywhere between the first and the second diamond, the left side of the table as a reference point, it is quite an area where you can still guarantee yourself a pot at the 11. So he doesn't have to play a bump on the 8. He can if he chooses to, but he has to be absolutely certain of the contact. No, so he has played the bumping on the 8, and that has not worked out.
Well, I was thinking too. He had a decent shot on the 10 to get on the 11, but he just did not get the speed right. So I was assuming he wasn't gonna try and get the speed right again. I was assuming he was gonna play something like a bump, and now, yeah, something all in. I mean, like I said, makes no sense to play safe with 3 solids right there open. So another chance for Oegaard.
You know how he's still alive in this match? I couldn't tell you, but of the 2 players, by far he's made the most amount of unforced errors, and if he can convert his next break, he will only be 2 racks behind. Of course, still depending on Ivo Aarts his break, but as we've seen all from the start, he is breaking second ball, so even Ivo is not guaranteed to run out twice on his break. So fascinating development in this match.
Yeah, score now 6-3. Starting to become a true battle. I mean, we never expected this actually to happen, I think, because Oegaard was struggling, Ivo was playing well, and then from that moment where Ivo missed that ball on the side, now he's starting to make a couple more mistakes as well. So now the good news for Ivo is, because he had such a big lead, he still has 2 breaks coming up to find himself closer towards the finish line. But 6-3 now, Oegaard breaking his second.
It's a funny old thing, isn't it, Tim, when and you only get that in Q sports. Sometimes you just feel like you're the better player, and you know you've made definitely the least amount of unforced errors, and then you look at the scoreline and it doesn't make sense sometimes. How many times? Well, not too often, luckily, but you see the statistics and you look at it and you go, well, the player's made less unforced errors. He's got a higher potting rate, and he still found himself losing the match. It's an odd one to explain. He's got a great opportunity to peel off the 1 here. The other solids don't seem to be too difficult, so if he can get rid of the 1 right here, you go back towards the center line of the table. And of course, if you are watching and you want to take up the game, one of the most important skills in terms of positional play is being able to consistently get your cue ball towards the center line. That is a pattern you will use all throughout your pool career, being able to get your cue ball off one rail, two rails, any sort of angle back into the center line of the table.
Yeah, pretty decent layout. Could still play 4-2-7 if he might have not landed on the 2 ball, so then you could still play a stop shot on the 4 and take straight on the 2. If the 2 goes, you can still play 2-7-4 and then the 8 to the left center. The 8 is so available to where I don't think it really mattered whether you chose the 7 or the 4 to get to the 8.
He's got options here, Tim. He can even pot it in the top right corner pocket. That way it's easier to control your cue ball.
Ooh. Yeah, I probably would have still played it in the side. I was not going to give myself a chance to hang that 4 ball once in a lifetime. I mean, could have dropped the 4 on the side and still take a slightly more cut on the 8. So, okay, now the score correct, 6-4. Coming back now, being down 5-0, 6-1. Coming back now 6-4. Ivo will be breaking twice, so possible run out. I mean, in general, with how well everybody plays, and I've seen so many breaker runs, I'm assuming 1 out of the 2 breaks are breaker runs. So Oegaard might be coming back to make it hill possibly. But a lot will depend on the break too. He's caught this a little bit fat. He didn't make a ball on the break. Made 5 balls last time and now none of them. He's not gonna be happy.
And also, of all the breaks he's had throughout the match, you know, he's consistently been breaking on the second ball. But this time, actually, the table compared to other layouts is looking way more doable. So yeah, Michael needs to map out which way he wants to go about this. It's looking like he will go for the stripes because he's not got a straightforward pot at the solid. So yeah, he's looking at the 10 in the center pocket.
Ooh, well, can't complain about that bump. Could have landed very wrong, actually. Now he still has the 13. I would like to probably move over towards 15. Leave myself slight angle on the 15 to drop in between the 1 and the 2. I mean, it's a tough layout though. I mean, by no means we are sure that this will be done. Well, this probably is even better. I like what he's played there. Now if he can get 12, 14, 9. And then from the 15 crossover to play the 11 in the top right or top left.
Even I'm struggling to keep up.
Well, if you think about it, you have to get rid of the 14 as soon as possible as well. You don't want to be traveling back and forth. So I would not consider taking the 9 first here. I would play 14 onto the 9. Then you play the 9 in the top left to go 1 rail back out. Anything in the center of the table or at least off the rail on the 15 should be fine. And then another tricky shot is to get the shape on the 11. A little bit tricky. But it does go in 3 top corners, so should be fine. He's landed a little bit more angle. Still playing this to the top corner though. I mean, you kind of have to.
A little bit inside right. Drop it in. go back up table, center line. Should be fine.
I mean, he could even choose to bump the 5. Like, let's say the inside makes it scary. He could run into the 5 and at least always have the 15 in the center. If he lands a little bit off on the 5, he has either the 15 or the cue ball might probably nudge out a little bit and get on the 11. So just really depends on how comfortable he is at the moment. Oh. I mean, that's a tricky thing with the inside spin. It kind of pushes the object ball towards the long rail a bit more. And he was trying to hold the cue ball as well. And because of that, probably aimed slightly thicker too. Wow. The match this has turned into, this could have been 6-5. Now a huge chance for Aarts to get this match on the hill. And I'm not a big fan of playing this 4-ball behind the 9. I just think you have to hit it so perfect. And if you don't, you are gonna leave something on the 11. I know he's tied up the 15, but well, he has hit it perfect. Nice shot there. Now one more here. I did like the 2 quite a bit, but looks like he's shooting 5. Is he bumping the 2? Kind of feel the nerves, even though I'm in a different country. I can just feel that. I think he's realizing that the lead is not that much at the moment anymore. Doesn't want a 2-ball to drop.
Will there be another twist? I was about to say, and look at this now. How do you like that? Yeah, so if he wants to play the bank, the cross bank, the scratch off the 8 is quite a risk. Even there, if he would have scratched, or he would have grazed the 8, the scratch would have been a possibility. More drama.
Well, the thing is, he has left a shot on the 11, and as long as the cue ball is at the bottom side of the table, you can make some magic happen on the 15. So you have to make probably 2 very tough shots, but he has given Oegaard the chance to make this 6-5. Brilliant shot on the 11. Did he get on the 15? I don't think so. Not to the top left corner. He's called the cross corner bank. Big shot.
So this also implies that he basically is all out for this, because you can't really play it safe, and he hasn't got safe. So that is a huge let off for Ivo, who was facing a very dominant scoreline slipping out of his hands, and now what a reprieve. Wow. And you know what? For Mikael, it is still a very, very difficult pot here on the 15.
Yeah, but I mean, I would be happy. I would be so excited actually to be able to go for this cut. I mean, if you play the right speed, smooth stroke, you might catch a little thick and still slide in. Yeah, look at this for a shot. He's on the 8. What a mistake from Aarts. That 7 ball could be very costly. Still has the lead 6-5 and has one more break to get himself on the hill, but to get on the hill means that Oegaard will have 2 breaks to put himself on the hill as well, so this could turn out to be extremely close.
Having had a lead of a 6-1, he was just failed to convert one of his 2 breaks, and now it's only 6-5. Will there be more drama, Tim?
Well, just made a ball on the break. You could hear that sound from miles away. Now, I'm not saying we will see more drama, but for a second I thought Ivo was gonna win this match probably 8-2. Now I truly am a believer this match might go hill-hill, just by the momentum. Yeah, I feel like he kind of has to cut the 13, draw the cue ball into the 5-7, leave the 11 to the side, and then just work your way to something to open up the 15. He has blocked the corner now for the 11, and he did not land on the 11 to the left center, so already a tough start. Things are not looking too well for the Dutchman.
Couple of mistakes have crept in, because to that point when he was 6-1 up, everything was looking bright and well under control, but now the mistakes are coming in, and how Mikael is still alive in this match is nothing short of amazing. Ivo clearly showing some frustration. I'm sure he cannot believe how this match is still going on. Both of us lost for words. It seems like.
Yeah, it's just he's already landed. Well, he still has a 4. I'm more saying like he's landing so funny. I'm just starting to wonder like maybe the weather conditions are making the table play a little bit different, but he's almost missed that 4 ball as well. Like strange scenes happening at the moment. That's what I don't understand. Both of them actually, not just Ivo.
He needs to be careful, because with this angle he will push the 8. Like I said, yeah, well, he did a great job there. Any harder he would have pushed the 8 towards the side rail. Now it's still in the open and comfortably puttable. Yeah, so it's looking like Ivo really failed to convert his 2 breaks to close out this match, and now odds are on we'll be looking at a 6-all scoreline with Mikael breaking twice, so he could be the player actually closing out this match on his own break. Quite the turnaround, Tim, when how he started off the match.
Wow. 6-1 down, and now 6 each, and he has 2 breaks. Is he able to put himself on the hill first?
There is a case to say Ivo Aarts could take a timeout at the right moment here, but is not called a timeout so far. Well, look at this. He's definitely potted a ball of his break and is trying to map out which way to go. Obviously, as you can see, the biggest problem if you're going for the solids is the 6 there. So that could actually weigh into his decision to go for the stripes here. Because really, the stripes are clearly potable, but then his first shot becomes a bit more difficult. Because with the solids, he's got a lot of options. The 3, the 2. So he's already been forced to use his extension, and as we know, after the break you get 60 seconds to figure out which way you want to go. So as you can see, Michael, yeah, I think committing on the 14 in the bottom left could be the leeway for him for the rack. And what a shot he's produced there. And the 8 is not congested, so this is a great chance for Michael to get on the hill, and that looked very unlikely when he was 6-1 down. And now all of a sudden you can definitely see the momentum has shifted.
Yeah, unbelievable actually. As you mentioned, Ivo Aarts quite the front runner in general. Both of us never imagined this to happen, but not saying we are just rooting for Ivo, more saying, well, with his skill set, he usually doesn't lose matches being up that big, so this one might hurt a bit. And now just gotta make sure he doesn't catch a piece of the 10, doesn't want to bump it. Yeah, he's perfect on the 10, can run into the short rail and out. It is Michael Oegaard we will see on the hill first. What a match.
Yeah, the complete complexion of the match has changed, Tim, because as you can I don't know if you can recall it, when he was 4-0 down, like every shot he was just taking a bit more time and it was looking very awkward. Everything just didn't look like he could play his natural game, but now he's sped up and you know everything is going in the right direction. It's quite remarkable, this turnaround, and he gets the chance to close out the match on his own break. Who would have thought that, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, things have completely turned around. Also, I feel that like in the beginning where Ivo was breaking the balls, they spread just a lot better than towards the end. So it's completely momentum related. And I think it all started when Ivo missed the 13 in the right center. He was like almost straight. Nobody expected it to happen. From there, he started to struggle a bit. The table started to struggle with him. And now the score, 7-6. Mikael Oegaard is now breaking to put himself into the loser round 5. The loser of this match is out, so quite some at stake. Let's see what he does on the break.
Yeah, you were very right. When it comes to the 13 ball he missed in the side pocket, I mean, it's one of those, anyone in the field, you let them play it 100 times, they would make it 100 times, but sometimes you take, you know, easy shots for granted. And we didn't say it at the moment, but really we need to ask ourselves how of a crucial ball that will be, you know, throughout the entire match. And now Ivo gets at least one more chance to keeps his hope alive.
Yeah, this is a must run out. Has to get out here in order to get this match to the double hill, but Oegaard will be breaking in the next one, or not? Yeah, I do believe he's breaking the next one. Now I'm starting to doubt myself.
No, it's Ivo. If it goes hill,
Is it Ivo?
Yeah, he won the leg.
Yeah, so imagine how big of a match this would be to still win. 6-1 up, 7-6 down, one dry break, and then clear the set. That would be crazy. I mean, it surely is laying well. The only thing he had to do is make sure he can play in the same corner as the one. Land a little bit more angle on the one. Could take the 7 first. Chose to do more traveling from the 6. Has to go directly down to the 6 to go back up for the 5-7. Oh, he's going to be off angle on the 2. Yeah, just a little bit sloppy when he originally got to those 3 balls. He got a little bit sloppy, and now I kind of feel like it makes no sense to shoot the 2 ball. Like, you kind of have to take the cut, and you can cut the 7 in, run to the 2, and then go back up for the 5. I don't mind that, just so you don't baby the shot. Don't think he can take on the 5. Might skim off the 7 to scratch.
No, he's called
he's going to play the combo. Oh, this is a tough shot. Needs this to go. Has missed it. What has he left? Oegaard, I think it's all in the open.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's gone wrong.
Yeah, the worst thing that probably could have happened on that shot. Caught it a little bit thick. Needed a thinner cut to avoid the 13. Now, could choose to play a stop shot behind the 15 on the 9. Just depends. I mean, the nerves are definitely there. Could say, okay, let's go all in and go for the 15 in the side. But if he fails to pot the 15, Ivo makes it on the hill. Great shot.
Do you know what? If he would have taken the safety route, which is well within his right, me as an opponent, I'd be, you know, yeah, I don't know, I would be happy, because that just tells me he's not feeling confident enough to close out the match. But nevertheless, he's still at the table with a great chance to finish off this match. Just needs to compose his nerves. Let your cue arm do the talking. And now more important than any stage of the match, just make sure that you still are very disciplined with your pre-shot routine, specifically in the backswing. A little pause at the back while you draw the cue back. It's very important to keep yourself in stroke without making a technical error. So far it's looking good.
Yeah, played a brilliant shot on the 15. Needed some straight cueing and definitely done so. Now a slight angle on the 9, as you can see, so won't be able to draw to the left side of the 2. Is he going forward? Maybe 2 rails? Frozen on the rail, could be tough. Could be tough. No. Sometimes both balls get frozen to the rail and can be funny, but he's landed all right. Now same thing here, I'm always under drawing the cue ball. You don't want to land behind the 2. I'd rather take anything on the 8 than to be hooked behind the 2. Yeah, 2 balls remaining. And he's perfect on the 8. So it will be Michael Oegaard advancing to the loser round 5. Ivo Aarts is out. Tough luck for the Dutchman. Great comeback from the man from Norway, excuse me. He's beaten Ivo Aarts 8-6. What a comeback. So thank you, Arya Sorabi. Thanks for being here with me. Arya Sorabi and Tim Norit are signing off, and our next match will be, I believe, in like 2.5 hours. So get some lunch in, and hopefully we'll see you right back at Pro Billiard TV. See ya.
Ja, kom.